Day 11 of the Radville BMX 30-day 30 bike BMX old school challenge. Today's lineup, we have the Schwinn Predator 1987. And let's talk about this fine piece of BMX history. So first of all, this bike appeared on the 1987 cover of Freestyling magazine, and Schwinn really hit the freestyling scene hard. As you know, a very old school original bike company, and they were going to make sure they put their stamp on the freestyle industry as well. So this bike, pretty cool, right? So let's talk about what's right, what's wrong, what's room for improvement, and what makes this bike cool. So first of all, the frame is original, purple, original decal with teal lettering, and all kinds of great 80s accents on it with marks and different effects and so forth. Then you go up front, the forks are actually chrome, and the frame has a rear platform, standing platform, also something above the rear tire below the seat, and of course above the chain ring, which very iconic of this model, this particular freeform Predator, and looks similar to the Magician EX that we saw from Kuwahara, that particular feature. So when you go through this bike, it's got all kinds of stuff that I think Schwinn was looking to patent and make exclusive and put their mark on the freestyle industry. So this bike is definitely got some of those goodies incorporated into it. So let's go through it. So on the ground, we actually have a pair of Compe 3 tires, and I believe these are definitely probably 30 years old, if not older. I've ridden on them. They're in good shape, but they're definitely original from the old school, so you just tell that they're aged. Got the knobbies on them with gum walls. Great set of tires here. In fact, kind of thought about whether they're the right tires or not. These are really more of a racing tire, but great tires, great gripping. I think they work pretty good on this bike. Although I've seen some Schwinn tires and stuff could be kind of changed out. They were also introducing their Yo line of tires. So that's what this model was in '87. They introduced their Yo parts and Yo accessory, and you really see it on the '88 model even more so. But today we're featuring '87. So on the inside the tires, we have a pair of Araya rims, 36 spoke with Sunshine Sealed Tech hubs, and I believe those are correct for this bike. This could have been a choice, although you would have seen this bike also with wheel covers on it. So definitely didn't want to cover up these Arayas though, and not necessarily sporting the wheel covers on this particular bike. Okay, so on the midsection we have a crankset 175, and gotta admit, just looking at it, it's not correct. That's a mid-school Diamondback crank, something from the 90s, but does work well with the Predator chainring disc. So that would actually be correct for this 87, and that's really nice. We've talked a lot about the compact disc, and this is the Schwinn Predator version of it. Moving up through the midsection, just above the platform that we covered, you got a typical, again, I believe that's a Suntour clamp. It's really not stamped, pretty generic, but from the old school, pretty common. Not an expensive clamp from back in the day, but definitely working here with the white accent and the snake post on the seat post, adding a little bit of extra room, taking it up to the Yo seat, and you can see here on the Yo seat, and we'll show some more later in the video, patent pending. So this was the first year that was released, and it's got some cool features to it, so we'll talk a little bit more about that, including a little wheelie bar in the back of it, right? So for your seat grinds. So definitely could have a white one on here. This one's a little bit more purple, kind of matching the frame, so I think it works good. And that was actually NOS out of the bag before going on to this bike. So it really works, really nice, pretty comfy seat. It's got a little finger grip handles on the tip, And we'll talk a little bit more about that, get into some of the extra footage here later in the video. Okay, if we move up front, again, the forks, chrome with the decals, and these do not have standing platforms on them. In the 88 version, they actually introduced platforms on the forks. The 87 does not have it on the free form. The brake is actually a knockoff up front. It's actually purple. Thought that was kind of a nice touch on the chrome. But in the rear, we actually do have a Compe 750 center pull, and you can see how it's the cable goes through the frame with some frame brake stays built in. So that's a nice feature, including coming off of the head tube. And speaking of the head tube, we actually have a rotor, and we'll show you later in the video. This is actually a rotor that rotates and rotates, I guess is the verb of that, but it does its job and works and spins and allows free movement of the bar spin. So that's pretty cool. Got a headset on there, probably just a Tioga headset, nothing particular fancy, might be a bear trap. The stem is an ACS stem, and the bars are questionable, maybe Schwinn, maybe Mongoose, pretty typical for this bike. You know, think they're Schwinn, but they got the knurling on the crossbar, you know, look just like the Mongoose in chrome. And the levers are both 128s, so those are actually nice brake levers, front and rear. And the grips are AME white grips, pretty old, pretty original. I'm not sure how old. Again, haven't carbon dated the grips or the tires. Not talking about dinosaurs here, just talking about BMX. So just using what I know to be most accurate and correct based on my knowledge, and albeit you know, very limited. You know, I do try to take a hard look at things and just see, you know, just certain things you can't really fake, and then other things you know, are counterfeited all the time. But I think, you know, dirt and grime and love marks and nicks on the bike, those are pretty authentic, and that's what we have going on here. So all in all, this is a great rider, very roomy. They actually had the opportunity to take this out to the BMX track and ride it around with those Comp 3 tires, and it's a lot of fun. Really enjoy it. Definitely got some looks, including on the reflectors, and that was kind of funny because I said, look, you know, we all know that probably one of the first things we did in the 80s was take the reflectors off and all that stuff. But if a set of wheels have made it to this day and age with its reflectors on, there's no way I'm taking those off. That's just a part of the BMX history as far as I'm concerned. So got no problem rocking the reflectors on the wheels here, and think it's kind of a cool little accent to it. So day 11, Radville BMX 30-day, 30-bike BMX challenge featuring today, Schwinn Predator Free Form, 1987. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Hope you've enjoyed. Take care, and later. We're going to show you a few extra little videos here in the short. We'll get those edited in and clipped in, but we're going to get some close-up shots here. But again, take care, and thanks for watching.